When people think of famous Bible heroes, they remember David, they remember Moses, they remember Elijah. But hidden behind the headlines of Scripture are extraordinary men whose stories deserve to be told. One of them was Benaiah. His name means, "The Lord has built," and God built him into a warrior unlike any other. He was born in Kabzeel, a town in southern Judah. His father, Jehoiada, was known as a valiant man. Courage ran in the family. Strength ran in the family. Faith ran in the family. From childhood, Benaiah learned discipline. He learned endurance. He learned how to fight. But God was preparing him for something much bigger, a destiny that would place him beside kings. The wilderness was his training ground. The mountains were his gymnasium. The battlefield became his classroom. Every challenge sharpened him. Every hardship strengthened him, while others avoided difficulty. Benaiah embraced it. Because warriors are not made in comfort, they are forged in adversity. And soon his courage would be tested in ways most men could never imagine. The Bible briefly tells us that Benaiah killed 2 mighty warriors of Moab. At first glance, that seems like a small detail, but think about it. These weren't ordinary soldiers. These were champions, elite fighters, men who inspired fear on the battlefield, the kind of warriors people avoided. Yet Benaiah confronted them, not 1, 2, and defeated them. Imagine the clash of steel, the dust rising, the crowd watching, the impossible becoming reality. His reputation began to spread. People whispered his name. Who is this man? How does he keep winning? What makes him different? The answer was simple. His confidence was not in himself. It was in God. Then came the event that would make him legendary. A lion, not behind bars, not trapped safely. A real lion, a predator, a killing machine, and it had fallen into a pit. Most people would stay far away. Most people would say, "Leave it alone. It's not worth it. Let someone else handle it." But Benaiah was not most people. For reasons Scripture doesn't fully explain, he entered the pit. On a snowy day, the footing was dangerous. The environment was deadly. The lion had every advantage, yet Benaiah climbed down anyway. Imagine the scene. Snow falling, cold wind blowing, darkness inside the pit, the lion pacing, its eyes fixed on him, its muscles tense. One mistake meant death, one slip meant disaster. The beast roared, the sound echoed through the pit. Fear would have overwhelmed most men, but not Benaiah. He stood his ground, and then the battle began. The lion charged, Benaiah fought. The struggle was fierce. Dust flew, snow scattered, the pit became an arena, and somehow, against all odds, the lion fell. Benaiah climbed out alive. History had just witnessed something extraordinary. If defeating a lion wasn't enough, another challenge awaited. An Egyptian warrior, a giant, 7.5 feet tall, armed with a massive spear. A spear so intimidating that most soldiers would hesitate before approaching. But Benaiah advanced. The giant looked unbeatable. The odds looked impossible. Yet Benaiah had faced impossible before. He rushed forward, disarmed the Egyptian, took the giant's own spear, and killed him with it. The crowd must have been stunned. Once again, courage triumphed over fear. News of Benaiah's exploits spread throughout Israel. Eventually, it reached King David. David knew courage when he saw it. After all, he had once faced a giant himself. He recognized something special in Benaiah, something rare, something powerful, trustworthiness, loyalty, faith. Benaiah became one of David's mighty men, an elite group of warriors, the best of the best, the men who stood beside Israel's greatest king. yet even among mighty men. Benaiah stood out. Years passed. David grew older. The kingdom entered a dangerous season. A struggle for succession began. Powerful men chose sides. Ambition filled the palace. Politics threatened the throne. Some leaders supported Adonijah. Others remained uncertain. But Benaiah stayed loyal. He stood with David, and he stood with God's chosen successor. Solomon. When everyone else was calculating advantages, Benaiah chose faithfulness, because true character is revealed during moments of uncertainty. After David's death, Solomon became king, and he remembered Benaiah. He remembered the warrior, the lion fighter, the giant killer, the loyal servant, the faithful protector. Solomon appointed him commander of Israel's army, the highest military position in the kingdom. Think about that. A man who once fought lions in pits now led an entire nation's military. God had elevated him, not because of politics, not because of connections, but because of character. Benaiah's story teaches us something powerful. Sometimes your greatest opportunities are hidden inside your greatest fears. Most people run from lions. Benaiah faced them. Most people avoid difficult situations. Benaiah stepped into them. Most people wait for perfect conditions. Benaiah acted in the middle of a snowstorm. The lesson is simple. Don't let fear make your decisions. Let faith make them. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear. Benaiah never wrote a book. He never became king. He never received the fame of David. Yet his story still inspires people thousands of years later, because greatness isn't measured by popularity. It's measured by faithfulness. A lion in a pit, a giant with a spear, a kingdom in crisis. Every challenge revealed who Benaiah really was. A warrior, a servant, a leader, a man who trusted God when others hesitated. And perhaps that's why his story remains unforgettable. Because somewhere in every generation, God is still looking for people like Benaiah. People willing to step into the pit. People willing to face the lion. People willing to trust him when the odds seem impossible. The question is, will you be one of them? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And remember, your greatest victory may be waiting on the other side of the thing you're most afraid to face. Until next time, God bless.